I am Jason, Old Glory Harley Davidson parts manager. Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for Screaming Eagle. A little bit about myself. I've been in this business about 21 years. My heart, it's my life, it's where I love being here. What we're talking about today is Screaming Eagle. Okay. Some of you guys, if you have twin cams, Sportsters, something like that, I can still talk to you about performance upgrades. These performance upgrades today I'm going to talk about are going to be tailored around Milwaukee 8. What we're going to learn today, we're going to learn the performance basics. Okay, 4 wins of Screaming Eagle, the stage upgrades from stage 1 to stage 4, and what they are, what they do for you, what they're going to benefit for you, and the products that are there. And then we're going to end off everything with authorized Harley Davidson service. Talk about our service department a little bit. Okay. Screaming Eagle performance products. Okay, Screaming Eagle performance amplify the thrill you get from your Harley Davidson motorcycle. Our parts, they add serious torque and horsepower. They are safely done, okay, tested day in, day out on Harley Davidson motorcycles. It's all about cranking it up, dialing it in, acceleration, speed, and control. Because the more drilling you put in your machine, the more you get out of it. And that is the truth. What are the 4 wins? Simplified approach. We take a simplified approach through Harley Davidson, that solutions that are designed to meet your needs, not our needs, your needs for the motorcycle. Integration, upgrades developed alongside our motorcycles to maintains warranty. That's one of the biggest things. All of our performance products are 50 state legal compliance. Okay, for noise and emissions, and it also maintains that factory warranty for you. Okay, a lot of people out of the gate want to buy a brand new motorcycle and they want to hop it up. Okay, you can do that. We're going to show you how to do that. No compromises. Delivering an impressive horsepower and torque without sacrificing reliability, durability, or the warranty. We have developed a lot of great performance solutions. Me being in this industry has seen that a lot happen. That screen right there, these 2 little snippets here are out of a Screaming Eagle catalog from 2014. This kit on the right is the Stage 5 tire shredder kit. Okay, they don't really have that no more. They have something very similar to it. That right there is a 50 state legal compliant 110 stage 4 that they made in 2014. And that kit right there was the start for where we are today. Okay, that kit right there produced about 115 to 118 horsepower and 110 foot-pounds torque on a 110. That's saying a lot. A stock 110's only really got 100 and 100. But that's where we started as far as where we are today. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. Starting with stage 1. What is that for you? What is it? All it is, intake. Okay? Any kind of intake that's free flowing. Okay? A lot of our motorcycles on our floor now have a 114 or a 117 motor attached to it. They already have a high flow air cleaner on these bikes. 99% of them. There's a couple bikes on our floor that are 114s that have a stock air cleaner setup. So air cleaners, you want more mass airflow going into the motor. Exhaust, you want to be heard, right? It's a lot of things that a lot of people around here want to hear. Exhaust can be a safety thing, it can be a performance thing. Okay, talking about the performance side of it. So any kind of exhaust, like whether it's a slip-on or a full exhaust system. Okay, and then the tuning. The tuning is a big part of those 2 components I just talked about. The tuning is going to change the ramp of how the bike operates. So you're going to be throwing more fuel into the motor with one of those tuners right there. Okay? Building off of that, Stage 2, Harley Davidson does a great job with Screaming Eagle, helping you out, making it easy. Okay? Stage 2 cam upgrade. That is your first thing you do if you're interested in that after the stage 1. Okay? In my eyes, a cam is the brain. It tells that bike what to do. The pistons, everything else, they're just a factor of how the cam works. So that cam, it builds those ramps that you see on the dyno sheets. Okay? We have 2 different cam options for different customers. We have a torque cam. If you really want that bite, you want that off-the-line power, the highway speed power, if you need to pass a motorcycle and you don't have to downshift it, that's where that comes into play. Torque cam, okay? The power cam, there's a second one. Power cam, it has a little bit of a later ramp than the torque cam does. Hits a little bit later in the RPM range, but it goes all the way to red line, okay? That's for customers that want to stay in the meat, in the mid-range, okay? And they always want to get all the way up to 6 grand. All right, that's where that cam comes into play, okay? Either one you look at, you're looking at about a 14% increase in torque and 24% peak horsepower increase. All right, it's a very big jump from just doing a cam. To build off of that, stage 3, okay? You're still using the cam, doing different cylinders, pistons, adding to that higher valve lift cam with different valve springs, okay? This one right here is a very good value buy if you've already gotten the stage 1, stage 2 done, okay? And you don't really want to go too much further, but you have some things that you're thinking about doing. That kit right, doing a stage 3 kit is a really good option. Stage 4, this is our ultimate. Okay, there's a lot of cool things about this one here. 24% mid-range torque, 52 peak horsepower. All right, percent, sorry. You want the best of the best upgrade in your motorcycle to where it's warranted. All right, you have 131 cubic inches, almost about 120 to 130 horsepower. Okay, 120 to 130 foot-pounds of torque. Very cool kit here, and it's buildable. Okay, but it comes with different heads, 4-inch 4 cylinders and pistons, a high valve lift cam, and fuel injectors and a new throttle body. Okay. So, what you, yes?
I don't want to disrupt your flow, but I had a question about stage 1 airflow.
Sure.
What if all you wanted to do is
just get some more air in there?
Yeah.
And you can do that too. That is a great question. So what we could do, a lot of our bikes are already kind of tuned for that now. Days past, if somebody just wanted to do an air cleaner and keep the same exhaust, we can definitely do that. It just has to, what we have to do is put a download in there for just an air cleaner, okay? And what that will do is a 50 state legal download for just that air cleaner to optimize it for that air cleaner. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, sweet. But what are you guys looking for? I know most, Torque. More power. More power. You guys are here to learn, figure out where I want to go, okay? You know, I don't want to burn rubber. I want to be faster than my buddy in a stoplight from stoplight. I want to be able to pass an interstate with ease. These are things that people have, you know, that's what they want to do, but not a lot of direction, okay? And that's where we come into play to kind of help you along with that. And like I said, there's all these different options tailored to what your needs are going to be, okay? Let's talk about some of the products that we have here, okay? Now I've got the slat wall over here with all the Screaming Eagle products that we have in stock. Some of the products that we offer, this here, okay, if you want some good amount of air going into the motor, the Screaming Eagle Heavy Breather Elite Air Cleaner Kit, okay? That is a very, very cool air cleaner, very concise, very close to the motor, so it's not going to hit your knee. Does not require a rain sock. They say that this piece right here kind of stops a lot of the moisture coming through, so it does not need a rain sock. That is a very cool air cleaner, about $299.95, I believe. Comes in chrome or in black. All right. We also have other air cleaners in stock. Harley Davidson offers what they call the ventilator air cleaner. It's an oval air cleaner, very close to the motor. You'll see it on some of these bikes on the floor. If you want me to show you later, I can definitely do that for you. This is like, you want anything and everything that has to do with performance, and you want to be optimized at the maximum level. This air cleaner is going to get you there. A lot of the Milwaukee 8, it really likes air. When we had the twin cam era, it wanted a mixture of air and fuel. These Milwaukee 8s, they live on air. And that right there, with the air, with it being wide open, a ton of air going in that motor, and it does do its due diligence as far as horsepower numbers.
With that one, I'm assuming it needs an air sock desperately for like on Thursday's rain.
It actually does not offer a rain sock on that one. And it is made to be a performance aspect of the motorcycle. So if there is a moisture situation, get off to the side of the road with that one. We offer some great exhaust systems, man. Harley Davidson Screaming Eagle, they do a very good, compliant Screaming Eagle muffler system that's not overbearing. Okay, you know, you got the Reinhardts. I sell the Reinhardts. I sell Chromeworks every day. Both of those great exhaust systems, but sometimes it's not everybody's cup of tea, right? Sometimes you want something very mellow. It gives you some grunt when you pull the throttle, things like that. And those characteristics are there with that exhaust system. It's a very nice exhaust system.
Does Harley offer the 2-in-1 or?
They do not. They actually did at one point back in pre-2007. They had a 2-in-1. No longer. Yeah, they have a full exhaust system that they offer. They do recommend that going on like a 131 or something. It actually takes the cats that are in the mufflers or in the head pipe, and it moves it back to the mufflers. So it still is catted, 50 state legal compliant exhaust system. That's what they have right now. So go over some of these kits that we do offer. I don't do a lot of these. 107 to 119. 107s are still out on the floors, but a lot of people are doing the 114s. And so stage 3, 114 to or 117 to a 122. Bump into displacement, same things with everything else that I was talking about with stage 1, 2, and 3. Different displacement on the cylinders and pistons, and a new cam. This is the fun stuff, okay? The 107 to 128 kit. Whether it's the twin cooled or the oil cooled, okay? These two great kits, we sell them all the time. They do wonders for the customers, wonders for the bikes. They don't get over hot. They don't overheat. There was some time a couple years ago, but we have addressed those issues with the oil pumps. So we're doing really well with these, but you got the high CNC ported heads, 4-inch 4 cylinders, 4-inch 4 pistons, high flow injectors, a high valve lift cam, and then they give you a new head pipe system. So why would they give you this? It's what we offer. So with that head pipe system, it is actually has bungs on it, so you can run an auto tune. Screaming Eagle also offers an auto tune for that, to be able to tune and fine tune that system, along with the fuel management system that you'd be using from Harley. Then you got the stage 4, 114, 117, and 131. These pull great horsepower numbers, as you see on that dyno chart, if you can see it. It's about 130 foot-pounds of torque and about 125 horsepower.
If you start going up that high, do you have to enhance your oil pump?
That's why with this, when we do these, I usually do upgrade. It's an option. Screaming Eagle offers a higher volume oil pump than what's already in the M8. And we try to offer that when we do the upgrades.
Is that advisable or?
Yeah. Yep. So we can do that. You'd also, if you wanted to do just a whole crate motor, you have that option too. We do offer those. There you go. All new upgrades, Harley Davidson upgrades. Okay. Are pending 49 state EPA compliance. They are 50 state legal. They say that because of California. Okay, they're still having some CARB regulations over in California. But anything we do, Harley Davidson, Screaming Eagle wise, is warranted for the life of the bike that you have. Okay, when you buy the brand new bike, you do have a 2-year factory warranty. All right off the gate. Okay, and then you can also extend that if you wanted to. The extended service plan that we offer, that would also take that warranty and extend that warranty out. That way you have, like, you're doing a 131, it's covered. Okay, that's peace of mind. All right. Now this right here, this is a Sportster. Okay, kind of tells you how to convert that and figure out what the horsepower is. Horsepower is a calculation of the torque. So right here you got peak torque, 77 foot-pounds at 4,000 RPM. Horsepower at this RPM is calculation. Here's calculation right there. Everything always comes together at 52. So with that mathematical equation, this bike has 59 horsepower. Without even looking at a chart saying 59 horsepower, if it just told you the torque, that's the mathematical equation to figure out what the horsepower would be. Okay. So this kind of gives you the difference between all 4 stages and stock. It's going to give you an idea of how that ramp looks on different stage kits between torque and horsepower. Then, on top of everything else, if you wanted to build your own, change some different products, things like that, there you go. We offer all the different components that are in those kits individually. So if you are if you're going to be doing some building, things like that, that's definitely talk to us. We can figure that out for you and help you along the way. And this is the tuning. This is what we use for Harley Davidson. It is what keeps that bike compliant. Okay. It will go out of compliance if you are using an aftermarket tuner. All right. Great tuners. Okay, but that's not kind of along the lines of what Harley Davidson wants to do here. So they have the Pro Street Tuner, and we also have the Smart Tune Pro. That's the auto tune that I was just mentioning a little while ago. What the Pro Street Tuner is going to do, like I said, with stage 1, 2, and 3, and 4, it's going to adjust those air-fuel ratios and give you that better ramp on the bike. Okay. With the Smart Tune Pro, what that's going to do, so it actually takes up this area as well. So you got this as being the tuning range, and here it's going to take up the rest of the slack. And that auto tune is going to fine tune every engine cycle what that correct air fuel ratio is going to be. Whether you're high up in the mountains, being cold, being hot, whatever it is, being in the desert, it's going to always change.
Is this similar to the Thundermax?
It is very similar. Thank you. So the Thundermax is a different product, aftermarket product. If you guys aren't familiar with it, that does something very similar to this, and it is a wideband system. This is also a wideband system. Base calibrations. Development is more than a few hours on a dyno. Like I said before, extensive testing on these items, just to make sure they are optimum and good for you as a customer. Make sure you don't have any issues going forward. Torque versus horsepower. Torque is the measure in foot-pounds for the amount of work an engine can perform. Like I was saying, torque is a measure. That's how you figure out what your horsepower is going to be. 1 foot-pound of torque equals the force needed to apply for 1 pound of force, let's say with a 1 foot lever. And horsepower is the measure of how quickly that can be done. So with that, go back. Yes. So get it like that. The horsepower equals the torque times the engine RPM divided by the 5252 where they're crossing. It's another way of kind of calculating this. Go ahead. So this gives you an idea. So you have 3 feet of space, 20 pounds of pressure. That together is going to equal 60 foot-pounds of torque. So 1 horsepower equals 33,000 pounds per minute. Torque equals the force in pounds times the distance. So 50 pounds applied to the end of the lever, that is 2 feet long, would equal 100 foot-pounds. The distance of the crankshaft to the crank pin is 2 1/4 inches. On a 4.5 stroke flywheel. Okay. The force is created in the combustion chamber when the air-fuel mixture is ignited, pushing the piston down into the crank pin via the connecting rod. Force 300 pounds, and the piston pushes the crank pin, creating torque between the crank pin and the crankshaft. And this is that long mathematical equation to get where we need to go as far as everything we just talked about. Horsepower equals the force times the distance times the RPM. All right, divided by 33,000. 300 foot-pounds. 0.188 feet. 2 pi 4,000 RPM divided by that. It gets all the way down to where you have this calculated from here, and then everything else divided by 33,000. Again, gets you to 43 horsepower, basing that off of that Sportster. Okay. Now, we've talked about all the different stages briefly. I'd love to go in depth with you guys if you'd like after this, but how are we going to get it installed? If you did it yourself, do you think it would be warranted? Nah, that's where we come into play. Perfect partners, parts and service. I got a ton of different experts back there, factory trained techs. I got 2 master techs back there. We've got the cutting edge diagnostics, the tools, do it, everything. But we do all kinds of different things in that shop, not just the stages that we do with the Screaming Eagle Performance. We do handlebars, seats, windshields, you name it. Questions?
Now, this is way beyond what I'm thinking of doing with mine, but can you put a 131 on a trike?
Yes. We'll talk about that later. I think we can. It does state that it does not fit trikes, but I believe I would need to look into it and see why. I think it's because of the tuning.
Okay.
I really do.
Do you save money if you get the crate motor instead of going through the whole stage 1, 2, 3?
Not really. No. That is a particular avenue you want to go if you want to keep the old motor and you just want to get a 131. That's kind of where that is.
So it's not economical to buy that up versus installing the stages?
At the end of the day, it actually is around the same price.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So yeah, how do I achieve, frequently asked questions, how do I achieve performance numbers published in the catalog? Harley Davidson, they take a lot of time doing all of that in the dyno room, testing everything, every single component that they put in those kits to get those numbers. Now, in the real world, we have different factors, right? We've got weather, temperature, elevation, all those different factors. So they're not always going to be that optimum graph that you see on the dyno chart. It may be better. It may be less. Okay? It's all dependent on the atmosphere. What's the difference between compliant and race? That you guys know about, you pretty much know. Compliant means it's within warranty standards. The race is outside of the warranty standards, okay? Anything that says race is not applicable. But you put it on the motorcycle, there's no issues, put it on the motorcycle, but as far as if that component were to go bad on you, go awry, something happens, it's not warranted, okay? Why do I need to recalibrate if I'm just doing a slip-on exhaust? Kind of like this man said about his air cleaner. You can get by putting a slip-on exhaust on. There is no problem doing that, but when you do that, all right, you already got airflow coming in. You have a muffler that you're putting on there that's a lot less restrictive, okay? It is imperative to, not right away, at least get that download done or get the tuner done as soon as possible, because what you're putting yourself into is like in a lean position. Lean is hot to where it could cause damage to the motor long term. Okay, not short term, long term. So with Harley Davidson, what they do ask is if you are changing any exhaust system to have it tuned properly, okay, to keep it within your warranty standards. All right. Some of this. My bike runs lean from the factory, or do I need to richen it up to make power or run cooler? It's a two-part answer. So they do run lean from the factory, okay? They have to meet so many different standards with EPA and everything that, yes, these bikes are lean. Do you need to richen it up to make more power? You have to do some stuff. Yes. In order to make more power, more fuel needs to be done, right? So you need to consume more fuel to make more power sometimes. So yes, that would be, if you wanted to richen it up, more fuel would richen it up, right? So you want that, that's what you would want to do. If I remove the catalyst, can I make more power? No. It just makes a tinny sound. That's really all it does. So, yeah. Good. Any more questions? No? All right, well, thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate you. I hope that was informative for you. If you guys have any more questions, please ask me.
Thank you guys for coming.